As some of you regular viewers will know, there's a fucking fly that's really pissing me off. Oh, you fucking cunt. Been here for days. Just fuck off. Sorry about that. It's been a little while since I've done a Sleep Token reaction video, and as some of you regular viewers will know, I'm under strict instructions to follow the album path, i.e. listen to them in order. And I've done 3 reactions off of Take Me Back to Eden. I've done The Summoning, Chokehold and Take Me Back to Eden. And I kept saying to you all that I'm going to do one more reaction from this album before I finally unleash the record in full upon myself so that I can just devour it and binge it and see what all the hysteria and fuss is about. And this specific track, according to Nik Nocturnal, is one of their heaviest songs. So without further ado, I'm going to listen to Vore. It's just a tiny little fruit fly and it just keeps randomly appearing, and every time I try to squish it or kill it, it buggers off. Wow, this doesn't let up, does it? I was expecting there to be some dynamic drop just there and it to go into something more soft and with a clean vessel vocal or potentially even some genre hopping. But no, this is just pummeling from the very second it starts. Drumming is fantastic. I can't understand what Vessel's singing about, obviously, and I don't necessarily think that that's always a bad thing. I'll be honest, I'm not a massive lyric person, and please don't all send me hate mail, but there's like hundreds and hundreds of songs that I can sing from word for word and I still don't know what the bloody song's about. Boom Shake the Room, for example. No, I'm only kidding, but you know what I mean. You sort of remember the words and the lyrics and the rhymes and the cadence of the song almost like it's a pattern, but you don't always necessarily go away and read into the lyrics and the meanings and the metaphors and everything else behind them. Certain bands I do, certain lyricists and things like that, it's sometimes easier than others, but it's not always the case, which is why I don't tend to concentrate so much on the lyrical content within a song, because I think so many people can take the lyrics and the meaning of it away and forge their own concept and what they think it means and the direction and the story behind it. So for me to sort of sit there and go, well, I think the song's about this and it's clearly about da 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 da, can sometimes divide people. So yeah, especially in metal and hard rock music, a lot of the time you can't initially understand the vocals, which is fair enough. So you tend to just go away in your own time and almost read the lyrics like poetry and read them in their own right, separate from the song, which is what I tend to do. I hope that's okay and you don't mind. It sounds like he's I can't remember the drummer's name, but it almost sounds like sometimes he's falling down the stairs. But I don't mean any offence by that, but in the way that the drums and the patterns and the rhythms and the tempos and the time signatures flow, it is just kind of like all over the place, but you're still falling and travelling with it on that journey. You don't feel like it's weird and out of place and uncomfortable to listen to. It's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible. I've subsequently learned from you guys, of course, following the reactions I've done to this wonderful band, that Vessel, I believe, plays all of the instruments bar the drums, which in itself I just find unbelievable and incredible. It isn't as if his vocals alone aren't enough and a talent, but the fact that he's playing all of these instruments, and it's not just the guitars. I mean, I'm a guitarist, so I do tend to focus a lot upon that and the sounds and the mix and the production and how they layer them and the distortion and fuzz tones and things like that and the voicings that they use. But it's all of the little elements and layers that he adds on top that are so sort of like low down in the mix, or they're panned in certain places when you're listening to it, that it can be hard to spot upon initial listen. And the more and more times you hear it and play it back, you start picking up more and more new things, which again is like kudos to a band like this. And I didn't actually realise how big they were. I got an alert that they were playing the O2 Academy, not the O2 Academy, sorry, the what's it bloody called? The O2 Arena, sorry, which is a huge arena in London, in Greenwich, my borough. And yeah, they're playing 2 or 3 nights, I think. That sort of arena is held for bands that are just huge and like on their way to bigger things or already achieved huge things. I didn't realise that this band were held in such high regards in this country and were able to fill a venue of that size. Is there another band like them around at the moment? As some of you will know, I went away and I listened to Sundowning. Is it Sundowning? Yes, sorry, Sundowning. And I thought it was a great record. Really, really enjoyed it. Listened to it a hell of a lot in the last few months or so. And it's only recently that I started getting into This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Is that the one? Their second album. I've heard it a few times and I haven't connected with it as much as their first album. I'll be honest, it hasn't really grabbed me. There's certain elements that I liked. Maybe I need to give it a few more listens and a try in isolation when I'm not got sort of outside interferences and stuff. But yeah, it hasn't really grabbed me like the first album did. But I think Take Me Back to Eden is going to be something else, just based upon the 3-4 tracks that I've heard so far and I've reacted to. They've all been stunning, very different. This is super heavy. I've said before that they remind me of like Meshuggah and Deftones and Tool and many other bands. But they're sort of doing their own thing. And it's hard to categorise and pigeonhole them and even try and chuck them in a genre. I don't know what you'd call them. I honestly wouldn't know. People call them like alternative metal, progressive metal. I don't really know. It's got so many things going on, and I think the moment and the second you start to forget and worrying about trying to chuck bands in genres, is the moment that you can actually just sit back and enjoy it, and that's kind of how I want to experience this band. Another cracking tune from this album. I've heard 40% of the record now. So based upon those tracks alone, I can see why it's held so high in many and many album of the year, rock album of the year, metal album of the year, just generally music album of the year poll. If you've enjoyed this video and you want me to do more Sleep Token, it's quite simple. Just hit that like button and chuck a recommendation in the comments section below. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye for now, people. Don't forget to subscribe.